Hi, and welcome to another episode of Melissa's Menu. I have two special guests today.
Hi, I'm Mike Watts.
And
I'm Michael Todd.
And if you remember, if anyone had watched the Super Bowl episode, these guys were both on the show and they rock. They're my special guests today on the show. We have a grilling episode. We're over at Mike Watts' house actually filming this. And we've got a couple things on the menu. First, I'll be teaching you how to make corn and avocado salsa. And then Mike will be cooking up some chicken and steak kebabs. And Todd will be showing us how to grill barbecue ribs. So let's go ahead and begin. First, I'm going to start with the corn and avocado salsa. We're starting with a 1/3 cup of fresh lime juice, which is approximately 3 limes, by the way. Put this right into the measuring cup. To that, we're adding a 1/2 cup extra virgin olive oil. Okay, so we have the olive oil. And then just 2 other easy ingredients for the sauce, for the dressing I should say. A teaspoon of kosher salt. And the other ingredient is 1 garlic clove, minced. So far anyone can do this. Don't tell me that you can't make this recipe. Just whisk this together. And we're just going to put this aside until the very end when we dress the salsa. So the ingredients for the salsa: 1.5 cups of frozen corn kernels. I already have them in my bowl. And hopefully you guys watched last week's episode. These bowls are fabulous. They're insulated. Just pop these right in the freezer if you have one of these. They're perfect for going to the beach. It keeps cold for several hours. So we have 1.5 cups of the corn. And now I'm going to cut 1 red bell pepper, which I've already rinsed. And you want to cut this into bite-sized or maybe even smaller pieces. This salsa is great. If you don't have chips, I just eat it plain by itself. It's very, very healthy. Take all the seeds out. Don't want to be chewing on those. All right, so let's just... I'm so excited, by the way, to be filming outside. Took a little setup to do this. Little time to set up, but it worked out perfect, and the weather is gorgeous here. So as you can see, and hopefully the camera can zoom in, these are pretty small pieces here. Everything is going right into the bowl. Alright, so we have the red pepper already done. And now let's start with the tomatoes. I have these washed and rinsed already. And again, use any kind of tomato that you like, whatever's ripe. You can just use a beefsteak tomatoes if you want. I love the plum. They're so much easier to cut, I think, than the larger tomatoes. We're having so much fun filming Melissa's Menu. Wait till you see next week. I have a very special treat. A very special guest that I talk about all the time. I'm not saying anything. A couple last ingredients. We have 2 15-ounce cans of black beans. Again, make sure these are rinsed and drained. Put these right in. Look how beautiful this is already. As you all know, I love the colors and I love presentation. So these have some really pretty colors in this salsa. Next we have 1 avocado, which is diced. And I'm using a Hass avocado. And then finally our last ingredient. This is how easy. Just some green onions, scallions. I'm just gonna roll these up kind of like a cigar, real tight. They'll be much. Okay. That's about all. Just add in the green onions right into the bowl here. Okay, I'm just gonna mix this up. Make sure the camera can get a great view of this. Look how wonderful this looks. Beautiful colors. The red, the yellow, the green. You cannot go wrong with this recipe. And now for the best part, our lime dressing, which we made in the beginning. Let's pour this right over it. Beautiful. Can't wait to try this. Absolutely gorgeous. You can always add cilantro. I'm not a huge fan of cilantro, that's why I didn't add it. You're more than welcome to. You either like it or you don't like it. There you have it, folks. Corn, black bean, and avocado salsa. Okay, folks, time for the grilling part, which is the main part of the show. Now, I don't know how to grill very well at all, so this is perfect that I have the two guys helping me out today. First of all, Mike is going to explain how to clean your grill and the upkeep and that sort of thing, so go ahead.
When it comes to barbecuing, a clean grill is a happy grill. We recommend that you bring the grill up to 500 degrees to burn off anything from the previous meal, and then bring it down to 300 to 350, continue the cleaning process. By doing this, you're going to give yourself a lot more flavor and a lot more enjoyment with the food.
Great.
Another issue would be the safety. People don't always do this, but every year you should thoroughly go through your grill every spring, check all the hoses underneath the grill, any other components, wires that may be in there, make sure they're not cracked or they're open or exposed. Also the orifices where the burners are, it's very important that those get cleaned out before you do anything at all. Clean everything out, wire brush everything, make sure all the orifices are open so that the flame will be even among the whole grill and the food will cook evenly. It'll prevent flare-ups. Flare-ups are okay, a few here and there, but a lot of flare-ups because of excess oil that's built up in there will cause your grill to just totally flame over, and it basically your food will not make it to the plate. So,
By the way, both these guys, they're in the fire departments, so they know what they're talking about. Again, I don't have a clue what you just said, but that's okay because they're doing the show today. So what we are going to start with, Todd, why don't you show the audience about the wood chips real quickly? And
we have two grills here. These are pretty standard grills. They have thermostats, which are great, and you can tell where they're at. This is an infrared grill. This is a standard grill with a plate that covers the burner so it prevents flare-ups. In the old days, they used to put the lava bricks. I think people would know, it was a little bit older, and the lava bricks was going to keep the flare-ups from going. But technology's better. They're making better V-groove plates that stay longer, especially if they're ceramic or stainless steel. Anytime you're grilling, you want to make sure you want to stay safe, because we do get a lot of calls with grill fires, and a lot of times people keep the grills way too close to the house, and subsequently the house starts on fire. So just make sure that the grill's safe and clean. Today we have kebabs.
yes,
We have
chicken and steak kebabs.
chicken and steak. I have a piece of baby back ribs here. What we're just going to show is a couple ways of cooking the ribs. I like to do dry rub, indirect heat. You can go different ways with it, but the slower you cook it, generally, the tenderer the meat is, the more it falls right off the bone. So what we're going to start today is, you can use any old rub. You can buy it in the store. You can make your own. There's rubs are come in like 6 categories. You got hot, you got earthy, you got salty. You got sweet. Sweet would be, you know, nutmeg. It would be brown sugar. Your hots would be your chili peppers, red peppers. Your salty would be either smoked sea salt, a regular sea salt, your regular kosher salt.
Okay.
And you can mix those up in any way you like it, which gives you a lot of creativity. So basically,
This guy's brilliant. Okay, go ahead.
we're gonna start by rubbing this down,
Okay. So you're doing both sides.
both sides. You wanna get the end of the bones. The marrow soaks up a lot of the rub too, which provides extra flavor as the meat cooks. So I'll get in, I'll sear it on both sides for about 3 to 5 minutes, get a nice sear mark on it, and then what we'll do is we'll move it to an indirect heat, which means we'll shut off 2 burners on one side, or 3 if you've got 4, and we'll put the meat on the side where the flame isn't. And what happens is that it cooks, but it'll cook at a longer rate, and then what you can do is you can add what I call your flavor, which is your wood chips.
Okay, so we are starting the chicken and the steak kebabs. First and foremost, can you tell the audience about the skewers? Now, I've heard that you do have to soak them, and then I've heard that you don't. I mean, is it really that important?
Well, it really depends on what you're cooking, but it's
Okay.
always a good idea to soak them. Shrimp, usually smaller, takes less time to cook,
Right.
whereas the steak or the chicken is going to take a little bit longer. The longer it's on the grill, it makes common sense that it's going to be more likely that you're going to burn the skewer up. If you do soak them, we recommend you soak them for about 30 minutes prior to using them.
Perfect. He's awesome. Now, I've also used in the past just the metal skewers. You could use those as well, right?
I imagine you can use whatever you have handy.
Okay. Why don't you tell everyone, what do we have over here?
All right, Melissa, well, what we have today is we have fresh mushrooms, we have onions, red peppers. You could, of course, have green peppers, yellow peppers as well. We have tomatoes. We have our steak, which is in teriyaki sauce.
Okay.
And the chicken is simply been put in Italian dressing.
And I'm assuming both of these have been marinated for several hours?
That's correct.
Okay. Definitely the longer it marinates, the more tender the meat's going to be. So why don't we go ahead and start the skewers. No particular order. I like to color code everything, so I love this. The guys are doing the show today.
And the girls are doing the cleanup.
Oh, really?
We haven't discussed that.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't know about that.
Ready to bring them to the
Let's
grill?
go ahead over to the grill, yes. I'm going to leave this part up to you.
Delicious.
Why don't you show everyone what we're doing next?
All right.
So where would you exactly place these on the grill, or does it matter?
Well, I want to space them out nice and evenly,
Okay.
giving them a chance to be flipped over so that they cook on all the sides.
Okay.
And you'll want to bring the heat down. Right now, we've got it pretty high, so we're going to go ahead and drop the heat down a little bit.
Okay. And how long do you think before we flip? We have some tongs here.
I would say that we probably want to go roughly 4 minutes on each side.
Okay.
4 minutes. All right, so in addition to having a good temperature on your grill, you want to make sure you have a watch with you, or you can keep track of the time.
Yes, and that all depends on how hot you want your grill and everything. Your meat, medium rare or well cooked.
Oh, good point too. Now for the shrimp, obviously just until they turn pink.
Yeah, shrimp's very fast.
Yeah.
You want to cut your vegetables a little bit smaller with the shrimp. Just be, make an account for it though.
Okay, great. So while that's cooking, we're gonna check on Todd's grill over here and see what's going on. How long has this been cooking for?
We've had this on probably, I don't know, about 15
That
minutes.
looks so good.
We got a nice sear on the top of the meat. I put it over to the side and I've got the burners on low on the other side.
Okay, so it's all ready, it's prepared for you to...
Basically indirect heat now. We're probably gonna go, I would say another 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and I'll probably start basting it with some barbecue sauce, whether it's something I might have made or something you pick up at the store.
Okay.
It's somewhere near the last 5 minutes of the cooking process.
Okay. Great.
Now, the other thing I was going to talk about was the wood chips.
The wood chips.
Which is the flavor. This will definitely bring people out. What I have over here is a smoker. It's a sealed smoker. It uses a convectionary process, which accelerates the cooking time of the meat. The meat's going to cook probably, in most meat in here, will cook in less than 2 hours. So,
Wow, really?
yeah, most smoking takes about 6 hours. But this really accelerates it. But it's stainless steel unit, and I use charcoal. So you got heat on top, heat down below. Right now, I don't know if this will let me.
Be careful. Oh my goodness.
So the ribs
look.
are hanging on the tongs. So you got a nice, you've already got a nice smoky mist that's covering the meat,
I have
giving it a lot of flavor.
Quick question. Can you open that back up? Now, how did you put the ribs? Okay, so this, you just simply slide them right on.
You cut the backing of the rib, which
Okay.
is the skin. It's kind of tough, and you just slide that right on the tongs. And that basically cooks and smokes the meat all the way around.
Excellent. Now, what else could you use a smoker for besides what other types of meats do you?
Well, I use this primarily for ribs, but
Okay.
you can use pork shoulder, pork butt, brisket. Brisket's very good.
Oh, yeah, brisket.
I'll tell you, the sky's the limit, but I'll tell you with ribs, you have to use the smoker. Right? It's a must.
Okay.
It really is. So,
So go out and buy one because they're very inexpensive.
yes, most smokers range from, I'd say, $50 to $200. But like I said, I like the convectionary style. Cooks very fast. Wood chips, on this particular unit, the wood chips go around the inside of it. You can use all sorts of different kinds here. They sell them, large pieces. You can get, black cherry wood. You can get apple wood. Black cherry and apple are considered a more mild flavor. You can go with hickory. Hickory is a more pungent flavor for chicken and whatnot. And then you can get a mix. You can add oak. Oak would be a more medium type flavor.
Now, what do you have soaking?
This would be something you'd want to do prior to actually using them.
Okay.
You soak the wood chips so they don't burn off too quickly.
And how long do they have to soak for?
I would say minimum 30 minutes. And if you don't have a smoker, you can do your own thing. You can buy your wood chips. You can get a small foil pan.
Okay.
Soak your wood chips, put them in here, put a couple holes in the top. I'd put it over on the other side of the grill.
Okay, now why are you putting it on the opposite side?
Well, I'm putting it on the opposite side only because the heat's on that side.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna cause the heat's hotter, and I can adjust the heat on this side. If I wanted to smoke some more, I can just kick the heat up a little bit more and cook them off more, and it doesn't affect the meat too much.
Got it.
Except for the fact that it's getting more flavor.
Okay, excellent. Everyone taking notes, I hope? Mike, let's check on the kebabs.
All right. Oh, yeah.
I think they're ready to flip if you want.
Absolutely. Look at that.
I'm learning so much this evening. Now, when I was growing up, we had, the charcoal grill. And that's all we had. Just one of those-
It's interesting you say that because propane is a fantastic way to cook, but propane can also be very dangerous if it's not taken care of. So it's very important that you always remember to turn off the propane whenever you're not using it.
Okay.
In
That
the
makes-
propane, there's actually a scent that allows you to know if it's in the atmosphere. So it's important that you understand how to recognize that and make sure that you always shut that grill off all the way.
Okay.
There is a chance the propane will bleed off, even if you shut the valves off too. So you don't want that to happen. Obviously, you don't want to lose your propane.
That's right.
And you do not want to store these things
Indoors.
inside. They always get kept outside.
Listen to these two. They know everything about grilling. How long have you guys been grilling for?
Well,
I lost count.
actually, in my home, my wife is the griller, and
Really?
I try to follow
There's
her lead.
confessions at Melissa's
Yeah.
Your
menu
lovely
right now.
wife.
At
Your
work,
lovely wife.
I'm the griller, but at home, she's the griller.
Okay.
So,
Any chance of us getting her on camera?
well, let me see if she's willing to come on over. Melinda, would you mind coming over for a moment?
That's okay. She doesn't have to come on.
Oh,
I just stepped on the...
I mean, we grill year-round.
Mm-hmm.
I love to come home after a long shift and find out that there's hamburgers going, or there's ribs going, or any of the assorted items that she loves to cook. She's
Yeah.
great at marinating, and it's just fantastic to kind of feel like it's the middle of summertime, even in December. Wouldn't you agree?
I fully agree.
Now, do you use your grill in the
I
winter as well?
use it all year round, nonstop. I will shovel 2 feet of snow off the back of my deck just to get to my grill.
My wife takes up half of our deck just to have the grill a foot away from the front door almost. Not quite a foot, but it makes it easy to go in and out for your ingredients.
Other easy foods to grill, hamburgers, hot dogs. We want to do something different today, so that's why we're doing the kebabs and the ribs. I mean, everyone knows how to cook burgers and hot dogs on the grill, sausages. Summertime is awesome. Like, everyone wants to grill. Everyone comes over from your neighborhood, you know, neighborhood grills, beach parties.
Don't
actually.
forget sausages. Everybody loves sausages.
Yeah. All right, how those looking?
I think we're getting really close. We want to make sure, of course, to cook the chicken thoroughly. You don't want anybody getting sick. The meat, if anything, it'll just be a little bit rare, but you want to really make sure that chicken is cooked all the way through. One of these went on last. It was left on the table.
Here.
How do you think those are? I think the rest are getting real close.
We have some hungry guests tonight that are very patiently waiting for the food
Your
to be
tomatoes
done.
are a good indication when you're starting to get too hot too, right?
Yeah.
Melissa, one thing you'll notice is the tomatoes work almost like a thermometer for your grill. Once
Okay.
they start to get cooked too thick, you know that you're probably either cooking them for too long or for too
They're
high a
small.
heat. Yeah, or they're too small. That's
Okay.
right.
You want to get big cherry tomatoes. If you really don't want to get them too small.
Okay.
This one's got to get more heat. So cook them up a little longer.
Now we also have a grill pan over here. And what we are going to do with this, if you want to help me, Mike, right over here.
Oh,
Okay, folks, so we have some leftover vegetables and meats. And Todd, what are we going to do with this?
Well, we're going to use this cooking pan, which
Okay.
basically has holes in it, so it provides the grilling sensation through the holes, but allows you not to lose your vegetables through the grate on the grill. What you want to do is you want to put some cooking spray on the pan.
Could you just use olive oil if you didn't have any spray?
You know, olive oil works pretty good, but it can burn.
Okay, good
So
to
you
know.
have to be careful with the olive oil and how you use it and how much you use it. So some other oils have higher temp burning. So we'll put the vegetables in here.
Should I add the meat as well?
Sure.
Okay. And we don't want the marinade, correct? We just want the meat.
Yeah, we don't want to go crazy with the marinade. We've already been marinating it for a while.
Okay. And I believe we're using is it a honey teriyaki sauce, Mike?
yep, a
For
honey
the
teriyaki.
vegetables? Okay.
Now, Mike, I like to go ahead and pour it over the meat as it's cooking. Do you like to do that, or?
As long as you do that, at least 3 minutes before you take it off, because you know you've got the meat juices that haven't been cooked in it. Mm-hmm. So you want to be careful that you do that 3 minutes at least. Let it cook 3 minutes in the grill.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Oh, look at this. Make sure the camera can get a great zoom in of that as well.
This is probably packed a little bit big. You probably don't want to go quite that much.
So this is going to take a little while to cook.
You want to give yourself room to move this meat around and the vegetables around.
So Mike, are the kebabs done?
Absolutely, they're
Okay.
ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and pull them off the grill.
Now, what temperature would you normally put this on?
I would keep the grill on high for this.
Okay.
Well, we've been on low the whole time.
So if you want to turn the heat up on that.
Yep.
Oh, they look delicious. I can't wait to try them. And folks, you can use any type of steak for this. We're using filet. No, just kidding, we're not using filet. Oh, those look awesome. Good job.
And one last mushroom.
Okay, here we have it. Chicken and steak kebabs. Nice job. So we have Todd over here putting the grill pan right on.
So we'll keep it on high to start. We'll get this stuff hot. Here, we don't want to burn the handle, but I like to keep the heat on there so we can get as hot as possible.
That's clever. Okay.
Kind of saute it on the grill for about a minute, minute and a half. Let it get in there first, and then we'll move it around. And I would say this shouldn't take more than 8 or 9 minutes. It'll be done.
All right, Mike, so let's go ahead and check on the grill pan.
All right.
How long has it been cooking?
We've been cooking it for approximately 5 minutes. We're up to temperature. Look at that.
Oh, beautiful.
We're going to go ahead and move these over, let them cook just a couple more minutes.
Okay.
And all you kids over there, you'll be eating in about 5 minutes.
They sound so excited. That looks really good. Now, are we going to be cooking the meat, what, medium rare, or?
I think it's going to be medium well.
Okay.
Medium well. It's not going to be rare, but we're definitely not going to cook it too long, because if we try to cook the meat too long, we're going to end up ruining our vegetables.
Vegetables, yeah, that makes sense. And now let's check on Todd. Are we ready to put the...
Oh, we're ready to apply the sauce.
Okay, great.
All right, what we have here is a hickory brown sugar sauce.
Okay.
And we're in our last couple minutes here, so we're just going to baste the top of this here.
Oh, beautiful. Now, how long will this part take?
I usually like to do, I'd say 2 minutes aside.
That's all?
Yeah, I really don't need to. You can do it longer. It depends on how you like your barbecue sauce caramelized.
Okay.
Some people really like it cooked on. Some people like it just hot.
Oh, those look so good.
We're going to coat both sides. We're going to put the top down for just a couple more minutes, and kids can eat.
Now, are these pork or beef ribs?
These are pork baby back,
Okay.
as well as the ones in the smoker.
I can't wait to see how the ones in the smoker.
They're going to be good. And if we have time, I could show you, but I'll basically tell you what I do with a smoker. The ribs have to come out of the smoker onto some tin foil.
Okay.
Then you apply the barbecue sauce, then you wrap the foil up and you let them rest for about 15 minutes.
Oh.
So that's how you would address that.
So with the tin foil, it keeps all the heat in.
Keeps all the heat in. It allows the barbecue sauce to just smother into the meat and settle.
Oh, nice. Yum.
Very good.
So Todd's showing us 2 different ways to cook the ribs. One with the grill, and then of course one with the smoker.
Yes.
And which do you prefer? The smoker. I should have known the answer to that. Okay guys, so I guess we're done. We have our kebabs, we have our ribs that are already done. What's next?
How about the Nestea plunge?
The nest.
Sounds good to me.
What are you doing?
Yeah, Melissa, the Nestea plunge.
Does anybody remember that?
No.
Cell phone.
That's all the time we have today, folks. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Melissa's Menu! Special thanks to A.L. Pedrozzani and Sons, painting contractors, and the California plumber, Mike Mana, for underwriting Melissa's Menu. See you next week.